Please let them click. Please let them click. Please let them click. Yes! I told you that prayer works. Hi, how you doing? Let me ask you a question. Do you struggle with starting conversations? Do you avoid situations, people, places because you are just not great at having conversations? Do you want to change that? Do you want to get some great results right here, right now, today? Okay, if you follow these 3 simple things that I'm going to teach you, you will significantly increase your communication skills. And if you hang around to the end, I'm going to give you a bonus that's going to supercharge all of your results. Hi, my name is Anthony Charles and I'm an alcoholic. Sorry, wrong meeting. I always want to do that. My name is Anthony Charles and I am co-founder of Team Titanium and Choices TV. I'm a trainer, I'm a coach, and I'm here to help you. Right. I suffered with not being great at communicating and a lack of confidence. And that normally happens because things happen to you in the past. And I had to help myself get over severe lack of confidence. I've helped thousands of people do the same, and today it's your turn. So let me give you some background. Let me tell you what happened to me years ago in secondary school that totally destroyed my confidence. I was in the year room and I was sitting with a group of my friends. And they were all talking about football, and they did that every single day. I'm not really into football. Don't click off yet. I'm not into football so much, so I couldn't join the conversation, but I desperately wanted to. So I came up with an idea, and this must be fake it till you make it. I guess this is why I don't like faking it till you make it, because I came up with an idea to interject and act as if I knew about football. So I'm sitting there and the conversation's going on, and right at the time when I felt was a good time, I said, hey guys, and I said it with authority. I said, who won out of Tottenham and Spurs? Now, they said to me, what did you say? I said, who won out of Tottenham and Spurs? And some of them went like that. And then they said, what did you say? I said, who won out of Tottenham and Spurs? They erupted in laughter. They kept on asking me, what did you say? And I kept saying, who won out of Tottenham and Spurs? They were beating the tables. They were on the floor. They were running up and down screaming. And they just kept asking me again and again. And I kept on answering them. And the more I answered them, the more they laughed. And I got really fed up. And I said, shut up, man. No, I said something worse than that. But in the end, one of my friends came over to me and he says to me, they're the same team, stupid. And I said, how could it be the same team? He says Tottenham, he says Spurs. How could it be the same team? He says they call Tottenham Hotspurs. Sometimes we call them Tottenham, sometimes we call them Spurs. They never let me live it down. And I'm telling you something, I still go to the school reunions and some smart aleck wants to come up to me and say, who won out of Tottenham and Spurs? And sometimes people in years above me ask me that. So you can see how far that went. That knocked my confidence for years. I was scared to get into conversations that I didn't know much about. And I prefer to be silent and say nothing. Now, there's lots of different communication skills that I'm going to teach you today. Today, I am going to teach you how to start and maintain a conversation. So are you ready? Let's get into number 1. This is what I did to help to boost my communication skills. Number 1, here's the rule. Whoever is asking the questions is in control. What I mean by that, when you go to an interview, who's in control? If you are at a quiz or watching a quiz, who's in control? If you are watching police interview somebody or you're being interviewed by the police, who's in control? Whoever's asking the question is in control. So practice asking questions. And it takes the pressure off you. You can get an incredible amount of control of a conversation if you are the one asking the questions. Let me give you an example. I go to networking events, and if I go to a networking event, if I'm speaking one-on-one or even in a group, I can control the conversation by asking questions. So if I'm in a group and everybody's talking, I will just interject with questions. I don't have to come in and say, hey, I'm Anthony Charles, I do X, Y, and Z, because when I go to networking events, I don't know if the people who I meet are going to be clients, if they're going to be collaborators, if they are going to be competitors. So how am I going to find out if I'm busy talking about myself? No, I ask questions so I can find out about people. So if I'm in a group and they're talking and somebody says something about marketing, for instance, I will simply say, what drew you to that conclusion? Or how's that working for you? And I am genuinely interested in their answer. Now, let's say, for instance, somebody is talking in the group and they're hogging all of the conversation. I will just wait for the right time and I'll ask them a question. And I'll say, well, that's interesting. How did you draw that conclusion? When they give me the answer, I will turn to somebody else and say, John, what do you think of that? and I stay in control. Questions give you the power. So practice asking questions. I know what you're going to ask next. And before you go any further, I'm going to say again, it really works when you are genuinely interested in people. It gives you so much knowledge about so many more things when you talk to people and you're interested in them. And also, number two, it gives you loads of topics that you can speak to people about. So yes, you're going to now ask me, okay, what kind of questions should I ask? That's number two. Have you heard of F.O.R.M? F-O-R-M, family, occupation, recreation, motivation. Let me tell you how it works. You just use these topics to start a conversation. You don't have to use it in the same order of F-O-R-M, for instance. You don't walk up to somebody and say, hello, my name's Anthony Charles. Are you married? Or you don't say to somebody, hello, my name's Anthony Charles. Do you have any children? No. I'm going to start with O, occupation, and look how I can go through all of the letters so easily. I'll start with occupation. What do you do? When somebody tells me what they do, I start having a conversation with them. I am genuinely interested and I'm listening and I'm asking questions and I'm directing the conversation. Once I have satisfied myself and I've asked enough questions about the occupation, then that's easy to get onto family. I'll say, wow, you are incredibly busy. You're doing so much. Do you have a family? Do you have children? Then we start having a conversation about that. If they have children, try talking to somebody and taking a genuine interest in their children and see how that conversation goes. You'll be there for hours. After I've finished talking about the family, recreation. That's easy to move on to. Wow, you lot have got your schedules full. Your kids are so busy doing so much. How do you lot find time for recreation? What do you do in your spare time? The conversation goes again. More questions, and I'm genuinely interested. And the last one is motivation. Whoa, you guys are awesome. What motivates you? And all of this works if you are genuinely interested in the person. So look, I've told you that, number one, ask more questions. I've told you how to start a conversation and how to maintain a conversation. So let me give you some fun now. I'm going to call number 3 the 10 pennies. And this is something that my mentor, Tom, taught me how to do. He wanted me to get better at speaking to people. And how you get better at speaking to people is by starting off by saying to them, hello, or good afternoon, or good morning. So Tom said to me, what you got to go out and do is you're going to put 10 coins, 10 pennies in your left pocket. You have to move those 10 pennies to your right pocket by the end of the day. And you do that by saying, good afternoon to somebody or good morning to somebody. Now, you don't get to walk down the street and shout, hey, good afternoon, how you doing? You don't get to do that. Well, if you see somebody, you could say that. But you have to say hello to them. You can't grunt. You can't say, and they can't grunt back at you. They can't grunt back at you saying, no, you've got to say hello. They've got to reply to you, move a penny. I got really good at doing this, and it was building up my confidence because I wanted to get to the 10, but I couldn't quite get there. One day I was coming home from work and it was about 10 o'clock at night. Tom calls me and I've moved 8 coins. I'm having a conversation with him and he says to me, oh, how are you doing? And I said, oh, Tom, I've moved 8 coins. He said, well, why don't you move the last 2? I said, well, it's 10 o'clock. I'm going home now. He said, well, what can you see around you? He said, is anywhere open? I said, yeah, there's a petrol station. He said, go in there and ask them the time. So I've gone in the petrol station. I said, evening, sir. Can you tell me the time, please? He told me the time. I moved 1 coin. I'm on fire. He said, can you see anybody else? He said, I said to him, there's a man at the bus stop. He said to me, do you know him? I said, no. He said, go and ask him directions to your house. Could you imagine if I knew him and I went, hey, how you doing? Can you tell me where I live? No. I went up to this gentleman. I said, excuse me, sir. Can you tell me how to get to Leswin Road? I cannot remember if he told me or if he didn't tell me. All I knew is that I moved 10 coins for the first time and I was on fire. Now, look, in my last video, I was talking to you about boosting your confidence. And remember I said to you, whenever you go to the shops and somebody served you, look at their name badge and use their names. Now, if you're still kind of building up to that and you haven't quite got the courage to do that, use the 10 coins. Instead of using their name, just start by saying hello or good afternoon or good evening. And when they reply back to you, move that coin. See, it's a lot of fun. And the bonus to making all of this stuff work, the secret to making all of this work is to let go of the outcomes. I talked about this in my video on confidence. Let go of the outcomes. And I talked about having that intention, and sometimes that intention creates contention, and that contention can lead to frustration. Let me explain. When I was struggling back in the day with my Tottenham and Spurs situation, imagine if I decided I was going to reinsert myself into another conversation. I could have created a lot of tension for myself because I would have been so focused on that outcome and being able to be good and being able to be part of the conversation. Let it go. Let go of that intention. Have fun with it. Move your coins. Practice form. Ask questions and see how much fun you have. Look, that's all we've got time for today. I want you to tell me how much fun and how much results you've got from being able to do those 3 things and keeping that bonus and keeping everything together. In the meantime, all I can ask you to do is keep on being amazing, because you are. Speak soon. If you found this video useful, then check out this video right here on confidence. You can have confidence with anyone, anytime, anywhere. And it really complements the video you just watched. Excuse me, I've got to get back to praying. Please make them subscribe. Please make them subscribe. Please make them subscribe.